We all hear the false accusations. But we gonna break it all down right here. And we gonna say, stop the cap.
I mean, what is his problem with Jews? I mean, he has said things. Hitler was a great man.
If Lucifer had a son, it would be Louis Farrakhan. This guy spews hate.
Hillary told him, you gotta renounce Farrakhan. Renounce me for what?
Louis Farrakhan, known for hateful, disgusting, racist remarks.
I'm 85 years old. How in the hell are you gonna renounce me? A man that don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal, don't fornicate, don't commit adultery, don't freak out with men or women, children. Don't compromise with the world.
Peace. This is Brother Aidan X. Is the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan who they say he is? Is he a racist? Does he hate white people? Is the Nation of Islam a racist organization? Does the Nation of Islam advocate or spew hatred of white people? Now, looking at the Nation of Islam and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan from the outside looking in, you may think, oh, this is some black supremacy. Oh, this is some racist teachings. But when you really go in deep and you go in past what the media tells you, you go past what the enemies of him are saying, and you really look at his words and you really watch his lectures, the entire lectures, and you really read the readings of the Nation of Islam, and you really go into the teachings and you actually attend the classes and the meetings, you really will find out that this is cap. Don't believe me? Okay, fine, that's fair. Well, let's go into the man himself, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the man that they deem a hate teacher, the man that they deem a racist. Let's go into his words and what he has to say himself about white people. The media will never show you this one. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said, "It is not the color of the white man." Let me say that again. It is not the color of the white man. That's the problem. It's the mind. Again, it's the mind of the white man. That's the problem. The color can live forever if God wants it to do so. But first, the mind, again, the mind of white supremacy has to be destroyed. Now, reading that right there, is that a racist remark? See, we're not necessarily talking about the skin, but we're talking about that mindset of white supremacy. That mindset to, hey, I'm going to go steal your name. Because they stole our names during slavery. That's why we walk around with Smith. That's why we walk around with Jones. That's why we walk around with Jefferson. We walk around with these last names that we have because during slavery, we lived on the Jefferson plantation. We lived on the Jones plantation. We lived on the Johnson plantation. So that's why today we hold these names. And again, to take a name from somebody, because you can say, well, what's the significance of a name? Well, the name is what denotes the function of a thing. Right now, I'm talking on a microphone. If you look up the etymology of a microphone, it will tell you its function. The same with a computer, the same with a car, because a name denotes the function of a thing. So the slave master knew this. He knew our names would tie us to our culture. He knew our culture would tie us to our morals and our traditions. So he wanted to take this from us so he could strip us of what was in us that made us civilized. Again, to strip somebody of their name, to strip somebody of their culture, their traditions. We wasn't even allowed to worship our God. We wasn't allowed to worship what we worship in Africa, where we came from. So they stripped us of our name, language, culture, God, morals, traditions, way of life. Is that the works of someone who is righteous? Is that the works of someone who is good? No, that's the work of a devil. That's why when we're talking about the white man, we're not necessarily talking about, again, skin. We're talking about the mind of white supremacy. Are people killing each other in the streets? You got our people gang banging, and we kill each other with no remorse. We stomp off the heads of our daughters, our sons. and we pop them like it's nothing. Right there, that's the mind of white supremacy. To kill a nigga, to see each other as a nigga, to see that woman, that beautiful black woman, as a bitch. Right there, that's the mind of white supremacy. So in the Nation of Islam, under the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we are not here to hate white people. We are not here to hate you because you got white skin. That would be wicked. And that's how we would catch ourselves back to where we are today. Because you would always have wickedness on earth. But the goal of the Nation of Islam is to establish righteousness on earth. On this book, Message to the Black Man, or any book or publication from the Nation of Islam, on the back it has the Muslim program. What the Muslims want and what the Muslims believe. So instead of reading the racist media and seeing what everybody's saying about the minister and what they say about the Nation of Islam, right here, this is the Muslim program. This is what the beliefs are, and this is what the Nation of Islam, under the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and under the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, this is what they want. Not what the media says they want. Not what you read about that person that said this about the minister, that person said about the nation. No, it's all right here. And in point 2 of what the Muslims want, it says we want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all. Again, equally to all, regardless of creed, class, and guess what? Or color. So again, right here, just in the Muslim program, it didn't say what the Muslims want. We want justice only for black people. We want justice only for Mexican people. We want justice only for people who registered in the Nation of Islam. It says we want justice for all, regardless of color. Now you may be saying, okay, Brother Aidan, okay. Now this may be how you interpret the teachings. But how does the minister, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, how does he talk about white people? Well, watch this clip.
This is not an anti-white tirade or somebody that's against white people or against Jewish people or against Arabs or Chinese or blacks. The purpose for truth is not to condemn color. The purpose for truth is not to condemn color, but to condemn wrong. When wrong is condemned by the presence of truth, the wrongdoer in the light of truth has his or her actions or thoughts illuminated for them by the presence of truth. This is mercy from God because it allows us to correct our actions.
There is no superiority of the black over the white. There is no superiority of the black over the white. Because you are the father, that doesn't make you superior to other people. That's right. Your superiority can only be if you are more righteous and more dutiful. And if you are chosen to do a job that you will stand up for God and do your duty by all of humanity and treat every human being the way you would like to be treated. I am not a racist. I will treat a white man like I want to be treated, and I will honor him and respect him if he's worthy of honor, and if he submits to the will of God. He is my brother. Even though he is white, he is my brother in the faith. I am not a racist. I will treat a white man like I want to be treated, and I will honor him and respect him if he's worthy of honor, and if he submits to the will of God. He is my brother. Even though he is white, he is my brother in the faith. That is Islam. Well, how did you all become so racist? It is because, listen carefully, the Jews were given a book Listen to me carefully now. Listen to my words. The Quran says, and a party of them, not all of them, a party of them heard the word, understood it, then changed it. Now listen to me. Anytime you take God's word, which is pure, and you alter it, change it, you start making devils. Are you listening to me? When you heard Elijah Muhammad say, who is the original man, the Asiatic black man, the owner, the maker, the cream of the planet, the God of the universe, who is the colored man, Yaqub's grafted devil, the skunk of the planet Earth? Let's understand that now from a more mature level. Are you with me? The original thing in the universe is truth. If you keep it in its purity, you make a righteous people. When you start tampering with the truth, mixing it, diluting it, adding in and taking away from it, you start altering the truth, coloring the truth, and you start making a colored people. You start making devils. You start making skunks. As a skunk is attractive, he has a nasty smell. And as you can be mixed with truth and falsehood, you may look good, but your actions stink in the nostrils of civilized people. Elijah Muhammad said, the white man is the devil. Now wait, you call that hate. But Elijah Muhammad showed white people a mirror. The truth is, the criterion of judgment is what God has sent down through his prophets. And if you measure white people up against the Torah and the law, the Injil or the good news, or this book, the Quran, which is the criterion, they are absolutely devils. Listen, no, listen. Are you saying all of them? I'm saying that those few that are trying to be good are so few and of such little effect, it is as though they don't even exist. Listen, but what Elijah Muhammad couldn't say to black people, he couldn't say to you, with all that had been heaped upon you, that you had been made devils also. That you had been made devils also. You were not strong enough to take that kind of truth. But by feeding you lies mixed with truth, making you hate your black self, destroy one another, envious and jealous of one another, he actually made you little devils. So America had become a habitation of devils, black ones and white ones. And all of you who come into America from wherever you live, you follow the mentality of America, so you become the same old blue-eyed devil that they are. Now, what did he mean, blue-eyed devil? Listen now. What do you mean, blue-eyed devil? Some of you look at people with actual blue eyes, you say, there's the blue-eyed devil. It could be, but it ain't necessarily so. Some of you look at people with actual blue eyes, you say, there's the blue-eyed devil. It could be, but it ain't necessarily so. You didn't hear me. You know what blue means? The sky looks blue, don't it? Yes, sir. The ether in the sky makes it look blue. Run out there and try and chase the blue, you never find it. Because blue is a color of deceit. The Quran says we take Allah's color. They call me a racist. Can you imagine this? I mean, I really feel highly insulted that you would call me what you have been all your life. Do you know
that the only reason a man like me is necessary is because of what your fathers have done. I have to come and teach people what they should know naturally under normal circumstances. You don't have to teach a dog to love itself or to have some compassion for another dog. You don't have to teach a cow to have compassion for another cow when the cow is being slaughtered in the view of another cow. But somebody gotta come and teach black people how to love themselves and how to be merciful and compassionate to one another. Why? Why is it necessary for a man to spend his life to teach human beings how to be human beings? If you had done your job as a teacher right, I would not have to waste my life to try and make a people out of a people that your people have destroyed.
Now you're probably saying, okay, I see this and everything. I see what the minister's saying. But if you guys aren't racist, then how come there's no white people currently registered in the Nation of Islam? Well, I'd like to ask you this. Would you take medicine or a prescription for a disease or sickness or ailment that you did not have? Would you go to the hospital and get a heart transplant, a liver transplant, when you have a perfectly sound and healthy body? Well, look at the black community. We suffer from every sickness imaginable. We are most sick economically. We are most sick morally. We are most sick mentally. We are last in all of these departments, where we don't even own the businesses in our community. We don't even own the grocery stores in our community. We don't even own a school in our community, where we are lacking and always catching up with every other people. So wouldn't it make sense to have a hospital, as the Nation of Islam is, to have a hospital where we only take the sick patients first, where we give the sick patients the help and care that they need, where we give them a prescription since they're so sick, since they're suffering? And wouldn't it make sense to take these people in and leave the other people out who are healthy, and let these people come in and get healthy so they can compete with the rest of the world? That's what the Nation of Islam is. And don't just hear it from me, hear it from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan.
But those whom God blesses me to teach, I bring them out of the prisons and I clean them up from drugs and alcohol. I teach our women the dignity of themselves as women and take them from a low life and encourage them to live the dignified life of a righteous woman. We put people together who were ignorant and make them lovers of knowledge. And then we unite our people and pool our resources to do things constructive for ourselves, because we're tired of laying at the foot of white people, begging them to do for us what we can unite and do for ourselves. So my ministry is not a ministry of rage, but it is a ministry of love.
Oh, but the Honorable Elijah Muhammad gives us a teaching that gives the black man the love of black self. When he teaches us that we are the original man, meaning the first man, the father of all human beings, gods, and the descendants of the divine creator, while we begin to brace ourselves up, throw our shoulders back, and we feel too dignified to reach down for a cigarette, to reach down for alcohol, to reach down for a drug, because we're flying up now with the most high God, but high in wisdom, high in understanding, high in power, high in the ability to do. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad creates a society that gives us pleasure. We get pleasure from each other's company.
People come to Farrakhan drunk, and they lose their inclination toward the bottle.
That's right.
They come to us on drugs. They lose their love for cocaine and reefer. People come to us all messed up. They go away a cleaner person. We go into prisons, we clean them up. Why are you stoning me? For which of my good works that I do will you stone me?
Come on. That's right there.
The only thing that you don't like is my manifestation of Satan. You are not alive. If you were alive, you would be doing the business of living people. Living people don't beg others to do for them what they have the ability to do for themselves. Living people don't walk around with their heads hung low out of fear for their former slave masters and are afraid to walk like a man, speak like a man, because the enemy made us little boys and gals, and no doctorate degree has restored our manhood and our womanhood. I thank Allah.
Obviously, there are no white people in the Nation of Islam.
As it is written in Scripture, when Jesus was talking to his disciples, he said, "Go ye not in the way of the Gentiles, nor even in the way of the Samaritans, but go ye to the lost sheep." Here was a prophet mission to a particular people to do a particular work. The lost sheep, we believe, is a symbolic way of representing the pitiful condition of 30 million black people. The white man today has had all of the prophets that he will ever have. You don't find lions looking out for tigers. It is the nature of every creature to look out for itself first.
Now, you probably seen clips of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the other student ministers talking about white people, and to you it may seem that the Nation of Islam and the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, all it does is blame white people for everything. Blame white people for this. Blame white people for that. Well, that is far from the truth.
But you are suggesting that it's basically the white man's fault.
Oh, no, Mr. Wallace. I'm not going to say that. Because justice would not be served if I said it was all the fault of white people.
Reason that
we have to take some blame in this ourselves. As black people, we can't sit around waiting for white people to do for us what we should be doing for ourselves. And our failure to do this is our fault. White folk have done bad by us in the past. Yes, that is true. And they do some bad by us today. But if we did better by ourselves today, we could help to reconcile this difference.
Now, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, man, he criticizes everybody. He doesn't just criticize white people. He doesn't just criticize Christians. He doesn't just criticize Jews. He criticizes black people. Yes, he criticizes black people. In fact, he criticizes black people more than he criticizes any people. He talks about black people more than he talks about white people. He tells us that we need to improve. He has books on self-improvement. For who? White people? No, he's talking about us. He's saying that we need to improve. He's saying that we have the power to determine our destiny. He's saying that we are responsible for ourselves. We are responsible for building our communities. So no, we ain't blaming white people. No. And the minister doesn't just talk down on white people or talk down on Jewish people. No. He talks about us.
You a damn devil. Somebody gotta straighten you out. You are such wicked people today, black people, that you have no more love and respect for God, for yourself, for your mother, for your father, for your elders, for your own life. You kill yourself in joy. Tell me why you can't function as a black man. What is wrong with us? You say you're the equal of all other men on the earth? How come we can't produce nothing as a people to get ourselves out of this condition? Brother, something has happened to your head, man. You're dead. Trick ripped you right away from your mother. She told her mother, you ain't gonna be nothing without education. He's telling the truth, but in that truth is a wicked lie. These beautiful babies that you producing, he's telling you they're not gonna be nothing without education. So he makes education free. And then you, black woman, bring your babies right to the slaughterhouse. It's called kindergarten. First grade, second grade, third grade. By the time your little boy is 7 or 8 years old, the gifted things that you saw in the child, you don't see it anymore. They're working on our heads night and day. Those that you can't fool away, you send them to the cremator. The crematorium is the crack house. Some of you are so low down and dirty, you don't want to hear nothing good about one another. Whatever dirt you want to hear on somebody, tell me about that. So you become a slanderer, a defamer, a gossiper. You don't know whether what you're saying is the truth or a lie, but what the hell, is funky and I like it, I'm going to tell it anyway. Except when somebody find out some crap about you. Now you want everybody to keep that quiet. But in this world, you reap what you sow. And if that's the way you do one another, your turn is coming up. See how you like it. You're too comfortable in iniquity. We sin like we breathe. Damn. Sin has that effect on us. We don't even have a conscience anymore to say, oh no, I ain't gonna do that no. We sin and love it. That's why we keep going back to it. So I'm singing a swan song. Because the God that is on scene today is a God of truth and righteousness. And if you play a game with God, he will leave you where you are. I want you to listen carefully.
Now you're probably saying, okay, that's what the minister says, but what does his followers say and believe? Watch these clips right here.
Let's go over and listen to the minister himself. Let's listen to him delve into it so we can go find the devil that the sister was looking for. Listen to him.
But the thing that makes him devil is not the white skin.
The thing that makes him devil is not the white skin. This ain't about skin color, about the coloring of the mind. Why? Come on now.
Did the Nation of Islam teach you to hate white people?
Nobody taught me to hate white people. I'm laughing because I did have my little phase where I was super pro-black, and you hear the stories. We know what they did to us. And we know we also are taught the nature of the white man in Islam. So knowing that, a part of me was just, I despised and in my immaturity, let's be honest, like, oh, just wicked. But when you know why they do what they do and knowing that God made them to do just what they're doing, you shouldn't be all angry and hostile. They're actually fulfilling their purpose. If that's what their nature is, there's no need to walk around all angry and mad. I despise what they did. I hate what they did to our people. Now, that will forever be the case. But it's really immature to go around, being mean and sticking your nose up around white people and being disrespectful. That's not our way. We don't offend anybody. We shouldn't be hating anybody. Well, God does hate, but to just say all together.
What?
Yeah, he does. It says he gets mad. God can get mad. He'll show you that he's angry. The natural emotions that we all have, knowing that they came from us, that's something to think about. Though knowing that the white man was produced from us, the devil in us was extracted and created the white race, then you have to know that it's inside of you and to walk around hating. No, we just need to work on ourselves and try not to go back to that, completely get that devil in us outside of us. So no, we are not taught to hate white people. We're taught the nature of white people, and we are taught to be cautious around them, knowing their nature. You know, that's smart with anybody, but knowing what people are prone to, you study a track record. We use history and we learn from history. If this is the track record of the people, be cautious and don't be surprised if you see something like that.
Said that the Nation of Islam has taught you self-care and all these positive things, but that's not what a lot of people see on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Has the Nation of Islam taught you to hate white people or hate Christians or hate people just whatsoever?
Absolutely not. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has spent a lot of time in the churches. And as a matter of fact, at the time, while the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad was present before he departed in 1975, preachers in the Nation of Islam, they didn't have the best relationship previously. But it was through the representation of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad through the minister, day by day, year after year, they started to have a companionship between the church and the mosque, between the churches and the Nation of Islam. So it's not necessarily, no, it's like we do not hate Christians at all. And as a matter of fact, we love them, we admire them, and as a matter of fact, we wish to be able to give them a better, a greater, broader understanding of the Bible, because we unfortunately have had an enemy that has taught some of the preachers that live in the United States of America and preach onto the Black and brown people in this country, but they don't necessarily have a good understanding of it. And as a matter of fact, it's been skewed, reversed, it's been twisted. And whenever you twist the truth, you twist the very mind of a people. But we don't have an hate for them, but we love them. We love them, and we want to actually help them in their faith, just so that we can be able to work together in order to get the lost sheep. And in regards to white people, no. And as a matter of fact, the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad said himself, we can't just sit here and just blame and hate white people and just want to be like, oh, we just want to kill white people. No, because if we were to hate white people, we have to look in the mirror of our own selves, because we brought them here. And he said these very words. He was like, can you blame the clay or do you blame the potter? But it's not the color of a person that makes them a devil, but it's the mentality that they have been taught. It's the core of their thinking that causes them to do evil things and causes them to mistreat people because of their class, because of their color, because of their sexual orientation. But it was that superiority mindset that has caused them to be a devil. And it's not that we hate that, but we have to speak against the treachery. We have to speak against the oppression that has gone on for almost 500 years now. And that's not hate, but it's just calling out the wrong.
I said, did the Nation of Islam teach you to hate white people?
No, it did not. If anything, it taught me the nature and how they came to be. So I cannot be mad at something that we literally created. And it made me more understanding, because honestly, if I'm being honest, growing up, I really thought that white people were the devil, they were evil, because being hearing certain things and whatnot, people's interpretations of the teachings, not necessarily the actual root of the teachings, whatnot. But growing up thinking that, and it wasn't until I actually made a friend, and she was actually one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life, where I realized like, okay, maybe I need to change my mind about this, because not all of them are demons and they just spew hatred from their mouths. Some of them are kind, just like some Black people are kind, and some of them are straight demons. Evil is in all of us, but it's just really, it boils down to nature and understanding nature and all of that. But no, I don't hate white people. I actually got a DM one day and someone was like, I'm not understanding why you did this design that was similar to this white person's design. And I'm just like, that does not matter to me. It's art. I'm inspired by art. I'm inspired by everything pretty much. Like, I love movies, and the main people who make movies are white people. And the main people who make pretty much everything we are literally indulging in nowadays.
And lastly, this is just the last thing, or the last point I wanted to explain is, did you know that the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in the Nation of Islam has white followers? What? Yes, the Nation of Islam has white followers. There's white people that write the Nation of Islam. There's white people who study the teachings. They may not be officially registered, but they studying the Nation of Islam. They read the books. They read the Final Call newspaper. There's a lot of white people who buy and purchase the Final Call newspaper. There's a lot of white people who support the Nation of Islam and the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. There's white people who believe that the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the truth. Actually, there's a lot of white people who think like this. Just watch these clips over here.
And the scripture says, even the Gentiles will come to the brightness of their rising. Maybe you don't know it, but there are many whites who are now writing to the Nation of Islam and telling us that they believe in the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And this is a sign of what many of the Gentiles have always known, but they've not been strong enough to say it. But they see and they hear us saying things that are in their hearts. And they see us rising. And they are now saying boldly that they will help us. I have many white followers. You know that? Did you know that? You didn't? I'll tell you about it. But they write me all the time saying, I'm with you, Farrakhan. I believe in you.
So, talk to me more. For the last time, the nickname thing hit my gym. All right. Well, if that's it, then I'm gonna fix us something to eat. I will call you when it's ready. Hey, actually, I wanted to ask you, what's up with this photo? Hey, honey, is everything okay? Why aren't you in school? We had a problem with my clothes. Did you wear your Trump has 99 problems and this bitch is one t-shirt again? I would have been a good mom. No, I had on this. Oh, sweetie. You are a 17-year-old white girl who's suddenly all about the Nation of Islam.
Because I was raised in public school and I was raised on TV and Hollywood, it didn't resonate with me. It didn't speak to me. It wasn't the truth of this hour. So even though it seemed like, why would you spend your time listening to and taking notes and really internalizing what was said in lectures where, from their perspective, it was just angry Black people ranting about how they hated white people. I didn't hear that. I heard a completely different message, and it gave me what I had been really seeking for, was just sort of an authoritative, definitive word to go forward for how to view everything that was going on in the world today, what to strive for, what is the standard, where is the leadership coming for the type of world that I want to live in. And I found that through the works of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, the Nation of Islam, and all of the things and the ripple effects of everybody that has ever touched, that then, even though they may not be in the nation officially, that they have gone on to do influential and positive works.
In conclusion, does the Nation of Islam and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan hate white people? Do they teach to hate white people? Do they spew hatred of white people?
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.